is a really small Amaro. I mean, look at this thing! It's tiny! It's a Lalafell-sized Amaro.
Ah.
Oh, that's adorable. Okay.
Ah, that's where I am.
Gonna eat buff food. And of course it's raining out.
Of course.
But I think...
Yeah, I'm staying indoors.
No. Get your umbrella. We need to go talk to Alfie.
But it's raining out there.
Come on. Umbrella. You can do it.
It's raining.
Be strong, kitten.
I'd rather be dry.
Oh, sorry. I think the sprinkler system inside the inside Labyrinthos disagrees with you. Oh, we want to go this way. Oh, right. Actually, we need to do this.
Don't mind me, I'm gonna be doing fishing.
That's not a problem. Oh, I caught 2 big fish last night.
Nice.
So my log is slowly filling in for stuff, even though I've still got Stormblood fish to do. It's just, they're days long gaps between the holes, so... But we will be descending from here after hiking through a cave. Yeah, you missed the kerfuffle earlier. Apparently, a lot of Square Enix login servers got hit. Yushtola? The meeting circuit which Aaronville mentioned is the tier directly below us. Unlike the lowest level of Labyrinthos, with its rigid security, one can usually roam in the middle layer quite freely. Let's see what we might find. I took a quick peek inside. It's awfully dark in there. It is a cave. Caves do get dark. I never would have noticed this cave on my own. Take the scholar that Aaronville knew of it, and that you were there to persuade him to share.
I noticed the cave while we were out questing. What's your problem? That's right, she doesn't do questing. She should. She might notice caves. This must be it, the entrance to the mine shaft. 'Tis faint, but I hear something moving within. Creatures homed there by the researchers, you think? Well, slavering beasts aside, we will need to watch our footing. We should tighten our straps and such before we continue. Yes, make sure all your belts are properly in place.
What? We have belts?
Of course, this is an FF game. Of course we had... Where's my belt?
There is no belt! Our belts are gone!
Some fiend made off with them.
Alpha, no?
Man-made though it may be, this shaft was designed to resemble a natural cave system. Heed Aaronville's warning and do step carefully. Any difference?
Not on Stola.
Nope.
And
Actually, did she? Yeah, okay. That was...
And not on Cryle. Alice?
The medial circuit. Alice seems eager to get underway.
Assuming everyone's tightened their straps and checked their gear, then I say we're heading on in. Given the train ahead, though, we might be wise to leave some distance between us. Don't want to be stumbling into each other when it comes to a fight. Take it slow, and don't forget to check your surroundings from time to time. We can meet up again at the other end of the tunnel.
Oh, actually, despite the risk of stumbling into each other,
Oh, right. Speaking of bows, how you doing, Raft? Here, have some extra glacial greens. You'll like them. Mithril cap.
okay then. They grow 'em tough around here, I guess.
There's our destination. Oh, and we get ambushed by mithril caps.
I'm not sure ambushed is the right word.
Oh, I see. I forgot to do something. Oh, you did that. Thank you, Cold Silver.
Of course.
I get so distracted. Part of the problem is I can't see chat at the moment because it's wanting to update the app.
Oh, of course.
Give that mithril cap a wide berth. We don't need to kill something, we won't. Uh-oh, did I leave Kitten behind?
I've been busy.
Yes, I can see that.
Okay.
So, who
Now
says
I
we
can
get
see
jumped
chat.
again?
No bet. Come on.
And down the cave we go. This is quite the complex.
Yeah.
Someone has a doggy. A frost doggy. And of course, they take us around
And
the
an
long
entire
path.
side K.
Yeah.
It's an entire side cave over there.
Yeah, and that connects through
Through to...
where we started from.
Hmm.
Ishtola? Yeah, man, that mine shaft was infested with mithril caps. Some sort of research project, I wonder? I suppose they are the most unusual creature. Why did they develop such long limbs when all they do is shuffle around narrow tunnels?
The better to punch you with.
Alizé. Theron, Relia! Did you know Kara almost took a tumble back there? She can't possibly still be dizzy from the lift. Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that too.
That would be incident number 3.
I was being careful, I swear. That slope was steeper than I thought. I lost my footing for a moment, that's all. I'm not injured if you don't count my pride. Girl,
We need to talk.
Yeah, I'm worried about this because it's obviously not connecting to Heidelin with the Echo. And you were the one Xenos experimented on to gain his residence. So that worries me a lot.
Everyone seems to have made it through without incident, nothing of consequence at least, and as promised, the tunnel has delivered us into the medial circuit. As I recall, this tier is where they keep a wide variety of samples for agricultural production. If Aaronville's assumption holds true, that specimens are being collected in preparation for a great migration, then we should see evidence of such plans in the area's research projects. Let's follow the path to the nearest farming facility and see what we see.
Go, Chocobo carriage!
Mm-hmm.
And I get maybe 2
Slimes.
steps. They're
Oh.
not slimes. They're hunt targets.
Really?
And they're
Well,
piles
yeah.
of leaves.
Oh, them. Yeah. That's right, we saw one of those earlier and was going, wait. Oh, that hurt a bit.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah, I'm really disliking this button expansion they've done, especially on Royal Road. It's making it really difficult to hit these extra buttons that have suddenly become uber important to the rotation.
Astrolution Royal Road. El Camino card?
Look out, stray garlic!
Except of course, yeah, Stray Queen. Except of course the Royal card is the Real, so El Card Real.
As long as it's not Uno. Now I know where we are. This is Maribel Agronomics. Agronomics?
Agronomics.
Labyrinthos is host to a wide variety of vegetation, which allows us to conduct studies on cultivating methods utilized in foreign lands. And it is at this facility which coordinates the overseeing of these efforts. The fruits of their industry go to feed the Labyrinthos colleagues, or so I hear. More notable success might make it to the Agora. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
More notable successes might make it to the Agora. Foods so exotic you'd be hard-pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste.
Oh dear.
Indeed. Mystery vegetables without a name. Only a list of nutritional benefits scribed on a card.
I see no gleaners hereabouts, yet these workers seem to share that same sense of urgency. 'Tis possible they know something of the forum's plans and their underlying motivations. Worth looking into, wouldn't you say? See what you can coax from the workers. The rest of us will do the same or cast about for useful clues. Stray mandragora, stray onion. Yep, full set.
I've been run over by a dragon! Deloys? The gourds we grow here are something of an agricultural wonder. We've crossbred varieties from all across the realm to create pumpkins that are sweet, sizable, and rich in nutrition. Cryle? A field full of ripe vegetables being left to rot on the vine. Not a single picker at hard work, clearly producing ready available fresh food is not the forum's priority.
Yeah. Don't worry, our chocobos will take care of all the spares.
Work!
Looks like there's no more fruit fertilizer. And another progo. Could you let them know for me? Why, certainly, Rabbit.
Go, little Progo!
Does not actually walk off.
A manette? No two corners of the world cultivates the land the same way. My research involves poring over the many texts gathered by the gleaners to produce something altogether greater than the sum of its parts. Minagya. Oh, it's not often you meet someone here who so obviously doesn't belong. Can I help you with something?
Tell me about yourself.
For now, at least, I am the second most important person in this facility. Now, you may think I'm shirking my duties, but even at this very moment, I'm envisioning how we can improve our methods. Gazing upon the watermill calms my heart and clears my mind of unnecessary thoughts, leaving room only for brilliant ideas. Even so, inspiration takes time, and today it seems slower in the coming than usual.
What kind of place is this?
Muriel Agronomics is the finest agricultural minds gathered to research the plant specimens from around the realm, and the methods by which to cultivate them. Plants grow here are also used to feed people working in Labyrinthos, straight from our fields to their tables, fresh as fresh can be. And yet, you're not picking.
Mm-hmm.
Parbeloy? Well, you're a youngin'.
I am from the studium, here to gain practical knowledge of how to cultivate fungi. Being in the outdoors does have its advantages over the stuffy stacks of books.
Yes, it does. And I have no clue how to get to that vista. Straight ahead and up.
Yeah.
Alphino?
And so you've spent years researching these high-yield cultivation techniques?
Yes, they have.
Hold on just a minute here. Yeah. Don't see any great...
Yeah, I think that's a flying point.
Maybe, or else, well, yeah, probably. But, if there's a way to get onto the ring from above, you could definitely use that to drop onto the building.
Yeah, but I don't see a good way, at least not right now.
No. But I wanted to double check the rear of the building.
Rua Ekon?
Epokon? Of course, the light of the artificial sun is not so brilliant as the real one. However, it allows us to grow crops without having to worry about inclement weather or changing seasons, making the results of experimentation much more consistent.
You are a very, very pale Makote. Holy moly.
Not enough time under the real sun. Are you sure
Yeah.
he's a Makode?
Yeah,
I don't know, he has the tail.
He's a Makote.
But usually a hat like that would have ear allowance, and his doesn't have any. Man,
Janique?
that's gotta hurt. For many years, I've poured my energies into developing more bountiful crops. My life's goal is to produce a seed from which both a popoto and a tomato will grow. Ah, a man can dream. Yeah,
Yeah,
good luck with
that's
that
going to
one.
be unlikely. And there's someone hiding just out here.
Yes.
Hello, Yashtola. What are you looking at? I took a moment to survey the surrounding area. There are several other facilities nearby we can investigate if we fail to learn aught of value here. Yeah, I bet. Okay, let's start with the harried harvester. Since we can probably do these in any order.
Yeah.
What crops are we raising? Well, as you can see, this one is a variety of grape. Only needs a good source of sunlight to grow, and the conditions here are nothing short of perfect. Hardly surprising, given that it's native to a particular locale in the very place in which Labyrinthos was molded, a region in southern Ilsabard. Really? It boasts remarkable habitat diversity, allowing for a migrant flora and fauna to thrive. Chilly peaks in the north give way to swaths of temperate plains, which then transition into hot, humid coastlines. Such bountiful territory is ever contested, as you might expect. Used to be called Corvos before the Imperials renamed it Locus Amanos. Yeah. The Forum saw it not as a prize, however, but as a researcher's ideal environment. One of those climates we strove to recreate within the confines of Labyrinthos. Its such provided a rich foundation for countless experiments and cultivation. Yeah, back to Locus Amenos.
Yeah, Corvos is coming up a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want him or the other guy over here?
I think this guy and then end with the other.
Okay.
Shabak?
Oh, hello there. We weren't expecting visitors. Not with use of the lift being restricted. How did you make it down here anyway?
We came through the
It's a trade secret.
mining cave.
A mine shaft, you say? Well, you're a much hardier soul than I. Under normal circumstances, I'd reward such tenacity with a guided tour of the fields, but I'm afraid the Forum has us filling order lists a mom long. Massive yet detailed requests, literal wagon loads of crop samples, and hardly any time to put them together. When I first heard of this grand reorganization, I assumed we would be shuffling around old stock to make room for the new. Then came the orders for ridiculous quantities of seeds we've already thoroughly researched. Passing strange, eh? I pressed for an explanation, and was met with vague assurances that all would be revealed in due course. Not the most satisfying answer.
Yeah, it sounds like they're in the blank as much as the gleaners are.
Oh yes. That's hardly a surprise. However, some very interesting information there. Like the fact that a lot of it is concentrating on well-researched crops, i.e., ones that they know all the characteristics of.
Exactly.
Do I have aught to be taken down below? More than I can carry and then some. Most of our stock is sent off via the cargo lift, but some has been earmarked for aerial transport. Hence the stack of crates atop that hill over there. Gods, hauling a lot up that slope was a job and a half.
Really?
Yeah. Shifting by airship.
Where are they shifting it to, per se?
I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
So upslope.
Yeah, investigate the stack of boxes. And you've made friends! Dang Corrigans.
No, it's an onion.
It's all part of the same family. Whew.
Bugs.
And
Buggy
there's
bugs.
the stack of boxes.
Not a horribly large stack.
I would like to note the flowers next to it.
Yes. Glowing flowers at that.
Lunar
Which I suppose
tears?
would me. Huh?
Lunar tears? Sorry, that was a
Eh?
near reference.
Ah. The labels on these crates tell the story of their contents. Bundles of common seeds and saplings, accompanied by sheaves of reports. And that'd make a wonderful landing marker for an airship.
Hard to look away, isn't it? But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion.
Heart blooms, eh?
You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
My thought, sir, is that this is far from the last time we'll see these flowers.
And I hope that's not the last time we'll see him, either. He seemed a good sort.
Interesting
learned
theme
aught
for
of
this.
interest? A flower that reacts to one's feelings. Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we failed to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly. Isn't that the entrance to the Archaean?
Mm-hmm.
He's done what
Look,
with
there.
his duty?
I think that's Erenville.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member, or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice.
I hope so. I don't want to put him at
If
risk.
you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
Uh-huh.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all...
Where's Kryl?
Kryl?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
I'm glad you agree.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
Don't get too close. His hearing is better than Makote's.
Oh dear.
Almost. I can almost reach you.
So, well, 3 things. There's 1. So 2 things.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree with that umbrella right now.
1, they did imply before that there was something about the flowers that tended to make it hard to look away. And it was obvious that we were kind of falling under it a little. So whatever is going on with Kryl is making her more susceptible to that effect, I think.
No, I think it's more the case of they might be tied to the Mother Crystal.
Maybe.
And she's picking that up.
Maybe. Two, there was something I had meant to mention a while back, and the scene reminded me, thanks to the music, is I would really be interested in seeing what Matoya thinks of what the forum is doing.
This is a good... She might actually know, considering she used to be on the forum.
Uh-huh, she might have an idea of what some of the long-held suppressed secrets are.
But I don't think the plot's going to give us time to port over to Idleshire and back.
Doesn't take that long. I've got the gil. I'm willing to foot the bill for everyone porting over there. I know, Stola just doesn't want to be chewed out by her again.
Do you blame her?
Maybe.
Kryl? Forgive me, my attention was elsewhere. We were following Erinville, weren't we?
Yes.
Alice, eh? Let's go after him already. We've waited too long as it is. Alphino?
It feels wrong to spy on Erinville, helpful as he's been. But what other choice do we have?
Stola?
And I wouldn't be surprised if he's guessing that we might try this.
He is a gleaner, and he is not unobservant. Is Kryl feeling unwell? I've never seen her so distracted. Keep an eye on her, but keep moving too. We can't let our quarry slip away. Rift, stop being a wall to the Popoto. Checking with Gistola again. Do you see which way Ernvel went? Oh dear.
Maybe not.
Alice.
The full report, warts and all. Alice is not about to let Erinville out of her sight.
Ernvel was headed westward along the path to the Archeon. Come on, we can still catch him. Me and my very stealthy chocobo carriage.
Yep. Hey, it's just a chocobo carriage like many in the realm. Nothing suspicious about it. We're a chocobo, move along.
Quick, quick! I do love this carriage. I'm so glad they finally added it into the game.
Yeah.
Even if it was a cash shop thing, it just fits with the world.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Foxfire.
Now, I think I see an Angi hiding in the background. Oh, should have been up that way. Oops.
Someone driving distracted.
Lots of twists and turns, and yep, they're there.
No.
Flip.
Oh, yeah, okay, that is it.
Alphino?
It seems Yustola wishes to have a word with us.
We've fallen too far behind. This damned mist doesn't help matters. I see no mist, I only see rain. I can still hear it. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Hold a moment. I have an idea. If memory serves, that colossal water-like structure is the Logisticon Beta, one of the Labyrinthos climate control centers. It should have its own lifts, which one could access the upper and lower tiers. If I were an agent of the forum, it would make for a convenient meeting place. But if we ever happen to find Ervil in the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we have to remain undetected.
I'm afraid my rogue/ninja is not up for this mission. Blah, blah, blah.
Mine is?
Yep, you can fake it all the way.
I'm not a fake ninja.
Yes, you are. If only Graha and his vanish spell were here.
Oh, but then there were other ways of turning invisible.
How not to be seen.
Hippity hoppity, my little toads!
You learned from Matoya after all.
Goodness! Yashtola, we're going to have words. Many, many words. Unaccustomed to transfiguration? Worry not, it wears off with the passage of time. Yes, I know.
I'm well aware of this.
Couldn't you at least turn me into an otter instead?
Or at least a pirogo.
I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Erenville. Should you feel the magic's fading, return to me and I will refresh the enchantment. We are totally going to have words. And what am I to do in the meantime? Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, you'd be as likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would learn anything of note. Which reminds me, where are the creatures hereabouts? In that form, you are essentially defenseless. Yes, I know!
You've changed into a toad. You must remain transfigured in order to progress with quest objectives. You will return from your transfigured status if you move too far away. Look to your map for the transfiguration's area of effect. Speak with Y'shtola to restore or prolong the transfiguration.
Alpha, no.
Really, Y'shtola?
Actually, LSA. Ribbit? Ribbit?
No, that's you.
Alpha,
Where is
no.
she? Ah,
You're
there
on top
she
of her.
is. Right.
Really, Alpha, no? Really?
Ribbit, Ribbit, Ribbit! Alfie Toad and Alley Toad are now accompanying you. Keep them at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives.
Yeah. Alfie
Kyle?
Toad and Alley Toad. Sigh. I would have enjoyed being a toad for a while, if only for the change of pace. But Y'shtola is right. I'm too preoccupied with other matters.
Yeah, we need to talk about that at some point. Okay, we have
Stand still
28
and I will
minutes.
recast the spell. The transformation should last long enough to allow you to find and spy on Aaronsville.
And hopefully these two chocobos will not give the game away.
Why do I suddenly feel like humming Flight to the Valkyrie? With all these hopping critters. But does only work with pink fuzzy bunnies, doesn't it?
Yes.
It has to be a cheap, tinny sounding Ride of Valkyries too.
Yeah. I'm avoiding that thing.
Yes. You do not want to become the Luncheon Toad's luncheon.
No.
There we go. Up ahead.
Ah, so it is. Good spot.
Where are the yak?
Yak yak.
Yak that goes ow. Really?
Oh god, it's their father, isn't it?
I trust you will find your
No,
compensation
it's
to
not.
be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Charlian scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
Well,
In an age long past, Charlian was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
Quick, look like a frog.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full.
I knew it!
While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
He led us on, that's how.
Probably because there's no actual frogs in the area.
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
I
Not to
like
mention,
him.
I had a feeling that he kind of arranged all this so that we'd have an opportunity to do exactly this.
He's
You
a smart
two-
cookie. Are they doing dominance chocobo things again? Hello,
Yes.
Doodles!
It's been their hobby all night.
Hey, Doodles.
Shoot. Oh, yeah. And now I really would love to talk to Matoya about this.
Yeah, well. Our toad performance needs work, apparently. I'll have to pay more attention the next time I see one. I thought my toad performance was perfect, considering how many times I've been turned into a freaking frog in Palace of the Dead.
Yes. You didn't get it confused with your otter performance, though, did you?
What makes you say that?
Just they happen under similar circumstances. You might have gotten the two confused. That might have been what tipped them off. Or it could have been me.
I think it was you.
I suppose we should have known a gleaner who specializes in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived. Yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in us all the same. More importantly, perhaps, we've discovered a new piece of the puzzle, this momentous duty the forum agent mentioned. Charlene has been called to action, and the Telephoro's declaration was the catalyst. Whatever charge it is they hope to fulfill, they deem it of sufficient import to disrupt all of Labyrinthos, not to mention ignore Eorzea's request for aid.
Alice?
Actually, Alphino first.
Okay, Alfie? Alfie Toad?
Yes. If we happen to cross paths with Erenville again, I should like to thank him properly.
Yeah, I think I can bake him up something he might like.
Mm-hmm. A guide of sorts. I'll say is... No, no. We like him way too much for that. A guide of sorts. LSA is staring off in the direction Erenville departed, a thoughtful look on her face.
What duty could warrant the direct involvement of the forum and the commitment of all of its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the gleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we've learned nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Yustola and Kryle for the moment, see what they think of this. And I'm about ready to hit 81 on...
Dang, you're now a half level ahead of me.
Which is amazing considering that I've hit so many 81s already without even really trying. What does my class job look like? Warrior is 81. I think that's all through Heaven on High. Dragoon's 81. Summoner is 81. Both Sage and Scholar are 81, and probably hitting 81 with Ast soon, so probably Dancer next.
And I've got two 81s.
Oh look, another frog out for his froggy duty. Alphino?
Where is Kryle?
Good question. It's funny how normal the force seems now. As a toad, it was all so much more ominous and threatening. Stola, you need to work on your transmog stuff. Welcome back. I trust you found Erenville then? Oh, Lord howdy.
And he found us.
Interesting. I had a feeling you'd learn something of import, even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Kryle and then discuss how we'd like to proceed. Assuming we find her back at the farm, she was behaving oddly, so I bade her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers that she was so entranced by? The rest of us can survey more distant areas, just in case she decided to wander. She's probably by the flowers. That would be my guess.
Actually, halt for a moment.
Halted?
Okay, so go ahead. Okay, so they have changed things slightly for being on a mount.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be when you were riding Pillion, you'd get the mount music, but it'd always be the soft, stopped thing because you weren't moving. They've now fixed that so it reacts to the speed at which you're being carried at.
Okay, so you are actually getting the full mount music now, instead of just
I
this,
always have been.
instead of this like half volume.
Yeah. And I was thinking maybe they just turned it up always when you're riding Pillion, but no, it reacts to your actual speed.
Oh look, side quests. And this stray tomato. Do we want to do side quests first?
Dr. Kryl first.
Okay, Dr. Kryl first, which we passed by an accident. Sorry. Too busy listening to Rye talk.
Sorry. I was busy with the radio.
Okay, Kryl. I know they're pretty. I've got some suspicions, but really you need to focus.
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting. She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
I had a feeling.
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Of course you'd be in tune with her, and her power waning, which is why you've been having headaches.
Thank you. Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you. Take the flower, walk free, for you are free, to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
You okay, Kryl?
That was... all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first, so weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread, imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower. Yes, we are definitely making progress.
You can't be serious. We've done nothing wrong.
Oh boy. Oh.
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian. A group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
It is not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What then is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Graha! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
But he's an Archon. He has
Refusing
rights
to
to
comply
that.
will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
But side quests? Side quests? You're taking us away from side quests?
Yeah, sorry. I figured you'd want to know the story more than the side quest.
Side quests!
Ooh dear.
Yeah, now the side quests are out of sequence. Dang it!
Well.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
Oh dear.
Forum will come to order.
He found something.
Which is why they're so
Inquiry is now in
pissy.
session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Shouldn't have quoted that.
From the mouth of a forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd.
I'm listening, Crystal Grandpa.
From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Oh dear.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Oh dear.
Yes. We are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission, not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuner, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? Now, if we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand. Order! We will have order!
Master Montaigne raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldessian are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Charlian. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand. I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed. Students, Scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Now the question is, are we locked out of those side quests until later in the story?
No, you can still get to them.
Probably not, from the sounds of that. Well, 3 guesses what they found in the ethereal sea, for those who need them.
I can think of 2 possibilities.
Yeah. And I'm betting I know which one it actually was.
I'll say. Thank gods for the skull arch?
Yeah.
Thank gods for the skull arch of Montaigne. I absolutely loathe arguing in circles.
My father may be right, that I am still groping in the dark for answers, but I needed him to know I would never stop searching. I owed that much to Arnvald, and myself.
You may encounter some raised eyebrows, but do continue to claim the students of Baldessian as your sponsor wherever the need arises. I believe in guiding principles of the Scion, and I know grandfather would have as well.
I apologize for the trouble I've caused you. I was pondering the significance of what I had just read when I left the restricted section, and knocked over the security mammoth on my way out. I promise to be more vigilant next time.
That's our crystal grandpa!
Oh dear.
Shola?
It's been a while since you haven't been in charge of your immediate surroundings, hasn't it?
Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city. And our endless investigations have not been in vain. We do not know if this mystery duty of theirs began with the Forum's discovery in the ethereal sea. With our freedom so sorely curtailed, however, we struggle to learn aught more of substance here in Charlian. You know, we might need to ask Matoya about this.
And congrats. Go do side quests and then return?
Yeah, though we're kind of short on time.
We can get a couple done. How many were down there?
I saw at least 4 and a blue bang.
Oh dear. I was going to comment on the timing of that.
I waited for you.
I wanted to make sure you guys got that story point.
Oh, we would have gotten it.
Yep.
Just means we have to backtrack, which I was kind of hoping to avoid.
Yeah, apologies for that.
But they are not kidding around with their story points.
No.
Rift.
It just gets more exciting from here.
And of course, we've got a little bit of a travels because I'm being a cheap bugger. I am cheap. I've got 2 legs, I know how to use them. Unfortunately, we do not have speed here.
Ooh.
413 yalms to the southwest. Too bad we can't just, like, jump over a cliff here.
That would have been too easy.
We've done it before, but yeah, they've been a little more, liberal with their OSHA-compliant cliff sides here. Well, I hope Earnsville is going to be okay. He kind of stuck his ears out for us. We should repay the favor. Oh look, a labyrinth screamer. Yeah, you could just stay over there. And we just barely fit through the opening. So, want to see what's down the other passage?
Foxfire, I know what you mean. Especially the beyond just putting it in my presence.
Oh, look! An ether current. Just what we always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the only thing there was the ether current. Thanks, Square! We went right by it!
Yeah, I had noticed that.
Yeah, 4 bangs and a blue, which will probably be an ether current.
Yep.
Yes.
Which will also be half the time is also a mini story.
Yes.
Well, the start of a mini story. And you'll like that one.
No spoilers!
I'm not gonna spoil it. It's pretty adorable.
Okay. Oh, first off, Emmett?
It's not mud. Eminette seeks a brave soul for a dangerous task.
If I'm not mistaken, you have the steely eyes of an adventurer, one who looks death in the eyes and does not flinch.
Mostly.
It just so happens that I required the sample of a rare earth, but it can only be found in the location rife with vicious plants and God knows what else. I would give you a hefty sack of coin if you could retrieve it for me. If you're willing, pray make your way to Trobophiles Deep and gather for me the samples of brown mud. The darker, the better, I say. And I suggest sharpening your weapons beforehand, but I won't tell you how to do your job. I say we hold on to the blue. If that's going to be a mini stories, we might have to do that Friday.
Yes.
If we stream Friday.
Time? Yeah, you'll definitely have to wait.
Not much room for error. Purpula is in search of someone skilled with a weapon. Madam, I say, madam, I seem to be in a bit of a bind, and I was wondering if you might lend your aid to remedy the plight of a struggling student. Oh, of course, introductions. I am Purpula from the Studium, where my research involves the finer points of bacteria and fungi. I'm here to harvest mushrooms from labyrinthos for my experiments, but I'm afraid I may be in over my head. You see, the mushrooms are located in the 33rd facet, but that shaft is positively swarming with things I can scarce stand to look at, let alone face in combat.
What, the mithril caps?
Apparently. It isn't uncommon for members of the Studium to request help from the more martially inclined, and so here I am before you. Will you procure the mushrooms for me? I would be forever in your debt.
I can't say no to kids.
Oh, thank you. Well then, the sample number for my plot is 316. The mushrooms stand out among the others, with red caps and a distinctive triangle shape. Just in case, however, I do have this illustration. I understand all too well the impulse to become lost gazing at the fungi. Perhaps this will help keep you on track. If you find the sheer variety of mushrooms to be overwhelming, then simply consult the picture and it should put you back on track.
Oh dear.
Illustration of sample 316. Whoever drew this has a bright future as an illustrator of fungi. Okay. He's not as good as Alphino, but he'll do.
John Quinn?
Learning to sew. Jean Quinet requires a sturdy back to assist him. Might you have some time to spare for an old researcher, lass? Physical labor doesn't come to me as easily as it once did, and I'm in search of someone a bit more spry to assist me. Task is a simple one, rest assured. You only need plant these experimental seeds in the nearby fields. You would be compensated for your troubles, of course. No special skills are required of you. If you've planted one seed, you've planted most of them. Well then, I look forward to seeing what you can do.
Do I need to switch into botanist?
Maybe.
Though that's more of a harvesting thing.
Yes. A ripe trade. Ruba Apokan has work for a swift pair of legs. Greetings. You seem eager to give a small portion of your time up in the name of progress. All I require is help with a simple delivery, and rest assured, you will receive just recompense. I've been expecting someone from the dairy farm to come pick up this batch of fruit, but I've seen neither hide nor hair of them. I deliver it myself, but my duties have prevented me from stepping even an elm from these crates. Fruit is liable to rot if not stored properly, so if it isn't too much trouble, please make haste to Mitato and deliver them to my colleague there.
Okay, it looks like we've got a little bit of a circuit.
Mm-hmm.
But first, let us plant some seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a cute little tree. Came up awfully fast, though.
All right, I'd say I've earned myself a quick rest. Right. Okay. There's the third one.
Oh, and just for the record, experimental seed. While instructions are not included, Jean Coulet seems confident that they will not prove necessary.
Right.
Okay, seeds planted, though they've sprouted awfully fast.
Slightly flushed, are you? Good. I take it that means you've planted the seeds. You have my thanks, and if all goes to plan, the realms as well. You see, my research involves the production of nutrient-rich plants that can be harvested in greater numbers than any we've seen thus far. However, even the most extraordinary crop is useless if they cannot be planted and raised by the common woman. I have long made ease of use a priority when I develop new seeds, asking everyone from experienced researchers to eager children to plant them in the earth and then comparing results. But of course, I'm sure you've had more than enough long-winded explanations over your journeys to last a lifetime. Take this reward for your contribution and take satisfaction in a job well done. Yeah, I'm going to have to do something about all of this gearing stuff they're handing me. Starting to fill up my inventory.
This goes quite all over the place. Let's do the farthest one first. You stay there, Stray Tomato. I said you were supposed to stay. He's not staying. No, I don't want to deal with the wasp either. This is quite a huge underground zone.
Yeah.
Oh, it is effectively a caldera, if I remember right.
Boy, it is quite a circuit.
Yeah, you just looked it up on the map.
Yeah.
Oh, look! Does. Sorry. You cows. Looks like the livestock farm.
Potato, yep.
Stock farming mammoth. The livestock shall not escape. Not on my watch. Okay. Sibylline? Oh, hello. Was there something you needed? Delivering this, actually.
Sack of fruit. A sack containing fruit grown at Muriel Agronomics. The smell emanating from it defies definition of its contents.
Oh, what specimens! So plump and fragrant. You say they came all the way from Muriel Agronomics? Thank you for making the trek. It would have been a shame to see these go to waste. Sometimes the cattle here are so temperamental that I quite forget my other obligations. Ruha must be cross with me. This isn't the first time I've accidentally shirked my appointments with him. I must give him something by way of apology. Perhaps a golden cheese would do the trick. As you well know, we at Mitato pride ourselves in our research into various methods of animal husbandry and fermentation used throughout the realm, and this cheese is our latest masterpiece. It came about in no small part thanks to the fruit you just delivered. We feed it to our cattle, and it is the main contributor to the cheesy's heavenly fragrance. If it's not too much to ask, can you deliver the wheel to Ruha? Yeah, I think we can do that.
Cheese, Gromit!
All I could think of is all the students gathered around the smokehouse for the bacon and cheese.
Yes! Have you taken the time to admire the animals? I might be biased, but I reckon the livestock here is the best in the realm. They've been carefully bred to produce tender meat, abundant milk, as well as to be resistant to a wide range of diseases and maladies.
Thank you for
best
that
animal
bit of...
in the realm is right here. Isn't that right, Boko?
What? Yeah, what I was referring to is an anime called Silver Spoon. It is, last I checked, it is on Netflix if you want to check it out. It is actually really awesome. It's all about modern farming practices in Japan, and it is bang on because the person who wrote it grew up in Hokkaido as a farm girl.
Yeah.
And one of the ending scenes that's just absolutely awesome is all the kids gathered around a smokehouse as one kid is preparing to make bacon, and the smell is driving them nuts. And then one of the other students raids one of the teacher's illegal cheese supply so she could have smoked Gouda.
Yes. Yeah, it's a really good anime.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's actually done by one of the two people behind the original Full Metal Alchemist manga. Cool. And unfortunately, the manga that it is based on has since stopped publication, not because it is over. The person actually wants to do more. It's that they've had to retire from manga work to take care of their elderly parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something the characters in the manga could relate to all too well.
Yeah.
No fruit, I see. I trust you delivered it without incident. You didn't eat it, did you?
No, we did not eat it. But we have some golden cheese for you.
Golden cheese, a wheel of lustrine cheese. The smell emanating from it defies definition of its ingredients. That sounds familiar. Oh, right, that's me.
Yeah, that's you.
This is golden cheese. The legends say only the masters of Rillet knew the secret of its creation. I never thought I'd lay my eyes on a single slice, let alone a whole wheel. If I receive one of these each time Sybil Lane forgets her obligations, then she can be as absent-minded as she pleases. What does it taste like, I wonder? Will it live up to the tall tales? Oh, my apologies. I do tend to get carried away when it comes to cheese. Any road, thank you for your assistance and take this for your time. I would share this cheese with you, but you're a greedy guess.
Being reunion cheese.
A washed-out rind cheese made possible by the fortuitous meeting of a step cheesemaker and an itinerant winemaker. It possesses a creamy texture and nutty flavor, though one would be forgiven for being skeptical given the smell.
And I'm actually going to port us to the Archeon. And
think that'll work out better?
Because that will be a rest zone.
Oh, okay.
It is now 11 o'clock, and we
Yes,
can
it
do
is.
the last one on the way down because it's actually in the tunnels. So, there's a method to my madness, kind of.
Yay!
But yeah, right now the manga industry is going through something of a kerfuffle because until recently, have a seat.
Yeah.
They have very much been of the you live, eat, breathe, sleep, shite manga if you're a mangaka. And with the death of the main artist and writer behind Berserk, a lot of the publishing industry is taking a very hard look in the mirror in the fact that they've literally been working these artists to death. And that's one of the things I think the Silver Spoon artist wanted to try and avoid.
Yep.
In any case, it is 11 o'clock. Thank you. Yeah, unfortunately, a common issue in Japan. Remember, unions are illegal in Japan.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Unions are like any other organization. They can be good, they can be bad. But, what was the one meme? If someone tells you you don't need a unions are like condoms. If someone tells you you don't need a condom, you really need a But yeah. In any case, we wish you goodwill. We will try and stream on Friday. No guarantees. Unfortunately, I'm having some family drama I'm having to deal with that could drop at any time, and when that happens, we just go. Can't really go into details, but it's a case of if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We're just playing things by ear. We're hoping, cross our fingers, that we can stream Friday night, and we will probably actually stream a fair chunk of Saturday and Sunday, depending, assuming family drama stays mellow through then. But we will try and get through most of MSQ as best we can on stream. Sorry we missed the early parts of it, but we'll work it out. It's a game. It's supposed to be fun. This is not a job. We're not going to make it into one. In any case, you all have a great evening. Sleep well, be safe. Hope to see you Friday night. Knock on wood.
Yeah, everyone have a great night, and hopefully see you again in a couple of days.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.